All right, you battlers. Welcome back yet again to the Go Stadium. I'm your host, Jay Devon, and today's going to be really good because we are going to be taking a look at the toxic Toshi Strats. And from what you can see, we'll be getting into round one, game one here very shortly for this 7-round tournament by Toshi, in which he went 6-1. And after this tournament had concluded, this shot him to number 1 in the USA leaderboards for the Silph Arena rankings. So at least as far as the USA, this made him the top dog. The top dog. Toshi is part of the Elite Four group, which also, if you weren't aware, they do now have their own merchandise. And Toshi's design I love as well. There you can see as an example for Elite Four merchandise and for Toshi's merchandise as well. I'll put the link for that in the description below, as well as the link for the tournament is going to be in the description below, and the same for all platforms to follow Toshi on. The main thing that I notice about Toshi's team, and hopefully you notice this too, as far as a confusion user, he does not opt for Wormadam Trash. He's actually bringing Exeggutor, and it is a Shadow Exeggutor. Okay, so as you know, if you don't know, I guess, Shadow Pokemon in Pokemon Go PvP do take 20% more damage, but also they deal 20% more damage. So they, just by being Shadow, they will get a 20% damage boost. And coming from Exeggutor, that confusion damage is going to be able to chunk away at even a Wormadam Trash. It can delete a Toxicroak, even more so than confusion users can already delete Toxicroak. It's basically overkill. And then it can also delete the Golbat and of course other various Pokemon that are eligible for the Toxic Cup that would take super effective from confusion. So as we go through the gameplay, you will see that the Shadow Exeggutor can be super duper dominant. It is amazing how well it performs, especially when in the hands of such a talented player as Toshi. And the other specific thing that Toshi uses for this toxic Toshi strat is he's a master at not only utilizing his energy, but utilizing the swaps and gaining the energy advantage when he's in a disadvantageous situation to overpower his opponents with picks like Escavalier and Alolan Muk. If you give Snarl Alolan Muk energy advantage, specifically in the Toxic Cup, there's almost nothing that can stand up against it. Another big theme in this toxic Toshi strat is his team is built around drawing out Toxicroak. Because the Confusion Exeggutor can just completely overwhelm the Toxicroak, and some teams rely on Toxicroak as a pick for the Toxic Cup. So due to that, if he draws out that Toxicroak, if he does not see it in the lead, he will just bring out his Exeggutor mid to late game and then just completely take advantage from there on out for the rest of the game and destroy. And even as you can see, he has the Drapion in his team and he also has his own Toxicroak. He only touched the Drapion 1 or 2, maybe 3 times, and then he didn't really use the Toxicroak. But let's go ahead and look at round 1 here. So the first opponent has a team of Gliscor, Escavalier, Drapion, Claydol, Skuntank, and then Bibarel. And here we go with round 1, game 1. We see that Toshi opens up with the Qwilfish. Obviously, we're assuming that it is running Water Gun, Aqua Tail, and actually Sludge Wave. So that's another thing. The Sludge Wave has much better matchups against picks such as Bibarel that it would not have otherwise, because Aqua Tail is resisted, and even if you get boosted from the Fell Stinger, that Sludge Wave can just delete. So we see the Skuntank and he swaps in with the Escavalier, right? So like we said, with the energy advantage and using Escavalier as one of the safest swaps in the game for Toxic, he's able to comfortably double shield, take not only the swap advantage, but basically the energy advantage at this point as well. The Skuntank is gone. He has the Aerial Ace good to go, which he throws into the Gliscor. Does not quite KO. Obviously, you need a couple of those to get rid of the Gliscor. We see the Night Slash come out, but then the Qwilfish comes back in, is able to build up enough energy to throw an Aqua Tail almost immediately at the opposing Escavalier that was swapped in. And then do we reach? Oh, that was close. That was close. I mean, at this point though, that Aerial Ace is going to KO, but we still have this Alolan Muk. So we already see him bring out Alolan Muk in round 1, game 1 here. The Escavalier is able to reach another charge move, but it should be an Aerial Ace realistically. Okay, it is. We are able to Snarl down, and then Dark Pulse closes this out. GG's for round 1, game 1. Right now, getting into round 1, game 2, I do anticipate a 2-0 based on how game 1 went. We see him open up with the Qwilfish again. And we're throwing an Aqua Tail. I think it's comfortable for him to lead with Qwilfish against this team, because even though they have a confusion user with the Claydol, the super effective water gun damage from Qwilfish here, Claydol is not going to like that. So that is, I guess, one of the biggest risks of bringing and using Claydol as a Confusion user, especially if it is the only Confusion user that you bring. Okay, so the Aerial Ace doesn't quite KO. We get in a couple extra Water Guns for a little bit of chip damage, and what do we see coming next? I anticipate he's going to bring in his own Escavalier to counter down, which he does. And what are they going to answer with? Okay, so they bring out their Gliscor, right? Which Gliscor could be a very good pick, but the Escavalier here, having the energy advantage, is able to deal damage, and we see. So he brings out his Snarl, Alolan Muk, and just like we discussed briefly, he is able to get an energy lead with the Snarls, and he throws the Sludge Wave, which is not going to one-hit KO the Bibarel, unfortunately. We saved his shield so we can shield that Surf, and we Snarl down. That was very important potentially, but we Snarl down, and we have this Dark Pulse for the Gliscor. Okay, so they are able to reach a charge move, but it should be Night Slash realistically. It is, and that's resisted, so now we can Snarl down on the Gliscor. GG's for round 1. All right, now getting into round 2, we see the opponent Zodiaxic. I'll just say Zodiac, but this round 2 opponent has Golbat, Escavalier, Drapion, Toxicroak, Wormadam Trash, and then the Bibarel. What's going to do? Okay, so we see locked in with the Qwilfish, the Alolan, not the Alolan Exeggutor, Qwilfish, Shadow Exeggutor, and then Escavalier. So we see a Toxicroak lead. So again, based on the Toxic Toshi strat here, I anticipate mid to late game we're going to see the Exeggutor just basically delete this team. We'll just have to see. Toshi's, man, definitely one of the best battlers in the world. Not only is he a very consistent performer, but these in-depth, thoughtful strategies that nobody else thinks of. He did this all the way back in Twilight. He did it in Rainbow. He's done it yet again. These Toshi strats are just overwhelming his opponents left and right. As time goes on, I think the Toshi strats might only get better. That Psychic, did they mean to bring in something else? Why did they come in with the Toxicroak? Oh, okay, Escavalier. Maybe it was a mistake, I don't know, but it's basically going to be GG's for game 1 at this point. Even with that Escavalier having a shield, he still has the energy on this Qwilfish, which is going to do massive work against the Escavalier, and then we see an Escavalier mirror with shields down. So they would need, I think, a Drill Run. Oh, they do have a Drill Run, okay. So the Drill Run lands. 1 HP boss, Toshi here for the Toxic Toshi strat. Aerial Ace into the opposing Escavalier. GG's game 1. Getting into round 2, game 2. Toshi is already dominating. We've seen Escavalier lead with the Qwilfish and the Shadow Exeggutor. So good call, because now they open up with the Wormadam Trash Cloak. They answer with their own Escavalier for a mirror, and Toshi answers with his Qwilfish here. Okay. So they throw an Aerial Ace. Man. This matchup can be pretty tilting, right? To be completely honest, I mean, the counters are resisted, and even with Qwilfish being a little squishy, the damage combined with the energy generation from Water Gun and Aqua Tail on a Qwilfish is a great answer for Escavalier, especially if you have shield. So Toshi does throw a shield yet again, and it is a Drill Run, so I guess that was a good call. We'll see what they bring in next, though. It is the Wormadam Trash, so it definitely was a good call throwing up that shield, because now we're able to access an Aqua Tail to do extra damage to that Wormadam Trash Cloak, and now this quick swap in with the Escavalier to throw the Aerial Ace. It should be able to throw a charge move right now. There it is, which I anticipate is either Bug Buzz or Iron Head. It is an Iron Head. Okay, so that's resisted. And then we see the Golbat come in. And we know how this goes so far. Interesting, though, that Toshi... Okay, because we're still in the switch clock. So he throws, I guess, the energy that he has at this point, since he is locked in with the switch clock. And rather than bringing out the Exeggutor right away, this is smart too. So he wants the Golbat to throw the energy at the Qwilfish, and now he has this Exeggutor at full health and even taking the extra 20% damage. That's just done. Done. GG's, dude. We're getting into the Toxic Toshi strat for round 3 here. Out of 7. Holy jeez, dude. This is nuts, dude. I love this. Okay. Toshi for round 3 here gets matched up against DD0440, who has Golbat, Escavalier, Steelix, Toxicroak, Wormadam, Trash Cloak, and then the Bibarel. Basically, literally the same thing as the last team, save for the difference with the Steelix in that slot. So let's see how this goes. We see Alolan Muk in the back with Exeggutor in the middle, and then the Qwilfish lead yet again, dude. Yet again. Okay. And this is ideal too, because it's the Escavalier that they bring in for their lead, and this Qwilfish, especially with the shields, this is just not the matchup that Escavalier wants to see. It cannot hang in this specific situation. So they throw a charge. I anticipate a shield from Toshi here. Should be an Aerial Ace. Nope, it is a Drill Run. I apologize. So The water gun damage is going to build up super quick. We can see that he overcharged just a little bit to get some extra energy on this, and I anticipate if they throw another charge that Toshi is going to shield yet again. No, he does not. Okay, interesting. So he saves the shield. He lets the Qwilfish go down. Okay, here's the Exeggutor again, dude. Shadow Exeggutor damage. This is not ideal. It is the Steelix that we see come out. However, Exeggutor does have access to Seed Bomb here, which will at least deal neutral to the Steelix. Does he let it go down? No. Okay, so Toshi opts to use the shield on the Exeggutor from the super effective crunch from the Steelix. We throw another Seed Bomb, dealing neutral. The extra Shadow Boost, 20% damage, deletes the Steelix, and Toxicroak in the back. GG's! Round 3, realistically, I'm going to anticipate yet another dominant 2-0. That game 1 was just completely nuts. Okay, so Toshi actually opts to open up with the Alolan Muk. They open with the Toxicroak, so it's kind of ballsy from them, especially because Toshi has the Shadow Exeggutor, which can put up a fight against everything on their team. Okay, so we throw the Seed Bomb. They opt to use a shield from the Seed Bomb from the Shadow Exeggutor. Will Toshi shield? No. Interesting. So he lets the Exeggutor go down. He's got to play a little differently here. And I anticipate so because they opened up with the Toxicroak and Toshi opened with the Alolan Muk this game. So, but now here, yet again, we see Toshi using the Pokemon that he loves so much here. He's using the Qwilfish and the Water Gun Aqua Tail combo against the team. The opposing team is also going to do very, very well. And it's a good thing, too, that Toshi's carrying the Sludge Wave, because if they bring and they use the Bibarel, that's going to do work against the Bibarel, as we saw in one of the previous rounds. So now they are bringing out this Escavalier. We throw the Aqua Tail, which interestingly enough does force a shield, but this Alolan Muk already has this energy lead. We see the quick swap in, throws the Dark Pulse, unshielded, massive, massive damage. Probably a Drill Run and or Aerial Ace, one of the two. Drill Run, super effective, is going to delete, but this is a 2-0, dude. Yeah, GG's, dude. Toshi. Okay, round four. Let's get into game 1 here. We do see the opponent, Vexilus. That's like a galactic name. You know, if somebody comes at you with in a tournament with a name like that, you know they got to be bringing some mega spice. They know their stuff. We'll have to see. Obviously, this is round 4, so we are going to see the competition heat up. But Vexilus also has a shadow of their own from what you can see, and basically this is also copy-paste from the last team, save for the Flygon is in the slot Steelix was. And then instead of a Escavalier, they have a Shadow Scizor, dude. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. Let's see. It'll be really interesting to see specifically what moves that Shadow Scizor has on it. Because really, if that is Fury Cutter, I anticipate it's gonna be Bullet Punch. But if it is Fury Cutter, that'll delete his Shadow Exeggutor. So, you know, given that as well, I do not anticipate that Toshi is going to open up with something that does not want to be matched up against the Scizor. We could even possibly see, I expect him to open up with Qwilfish this time, because that would resist both the Bullet Punch and Fury Cutter, whatever moveset that Scizor is going to be running. But let's see. Okay, good call. It is the Qwilfish lead, and we did catch the Scizor lead. And as we can see too, it is Bullet Punch. So they've revealed literally in the open for game 1 here that it does not have Fury Cutter. That's going to make Toshi, I think, a little more comfortable, and that's not a good thing. You do not want Toshi to be comfortable if you face him in a tournament. Make Toshi as uncomfortable as possible. Otherwise, he's, look at this, he's 2 shields, he has the Shadow Exeggutor and the Alolan Muk, and their Shadow Scizor is gonzo. So, see the Alolan Muk come in. Wormadam Trash Cloak is going to be throwing a charge, Iron Head or Bug Buzz realistically. It is the Iron Head. We throw in 1 extra Snarl with the Alolan Muk, and we launch this Dark Pulse, which does land, and we're able to reach another Dark Pulse before the Wormadam Trash Cloak is able to access another charge. The Snarl energy generation is just too fast. The Wormadam Trash Cloak is not going to be able to hang in terms of the energy generation. So they do an aggro swap with their Flygon, but this confusion damage from the Alolan Exeggutor is just insane. And even taking that extra 20% damage, being a Shadow Pokemon, it still resists the Mud Shots from that Flygon. So Shadow Exeggutor, dude. Why didn't I think of this? This is absolutely nuts. We throw the Seed Bomb, and then we throw another Seed Bomb here. That's clean. That's a clean game 1. GG's. Round 4, game 2 here, dude. Here we go. Toshi, the one, the only, up against Vexilus. So I don't anticipate they're going to open up with the Shadow Scizor again. And given that, I think we might see... Okay, that's not what I thought, but Toshi opens up with the Alolan Muk, which is good because we know how this matchup can go given the energy generation power from the Alolan Muk. and then they do their aggro swap into their Shadow Scizor, which obviously Toshi here is going to answer with the Qwilfish. We take the neutral Night Slash, which from the Shadow Scizor does huge amounts of damage. Qwilfish does not like that, it's already squishy enough, but at least we can do the neutral Water Gun Aqua Tail combo against the Scizor, and they opt not to use any shields. Okay, so they're saving their shields, but they already are at a swap and a shield disadvantage. Well, not a swap disadvantage, but they are at a shield disadvantage here because Toshi still has 2. Now, Toxicroak is able to counter down, but we have the Toxicroak deleter, dude. Deleter. Do we see a shield? Okay, we do. Good, because it's a Sludge Bomb, and we see their swap into the Wormadam Trash Cloak, which we already have this energy again. Good to go on the Alolan Muk. Throws the Dark Pulse, even if they get a charge. Whether it's Bug Buzz or Iron Head is not going to quite one-hit KO the Alolan Muk at this range, so we're able to outpace the Wormadam Trash Cloak into another Dark Pulse, which pulls out their last shield, and they're not going to be able to reach another charge in time before Exeggutor can hit this Seed Bomb. Hands down, the Shadow Egg MVP, dude. Massive shout out to Toshi. Massive. GG's. All right, heading into round 5, we'll get into game 1 here very shortly, but this is quite the name from the opponent. Hypnos Project HQ. It's quite a long name, so it's pretty small up there. Hopefully you can see it and read it. But if you cannot, again, it is Hypnos Project HQ. So they have a pretty standard meta team for Toxic. We see the Golbat, Steelix, Gliscor, Toxicroak, Wormadam Trash Cloak, and then the Beaverell here. So, oh man, they have the Golbat and Toxicroak. We know how those matchups go against the Shadow Exeggutor here. So this, oh my gosh, let's go, dude. Let's just think and go. Game 1 here, Toshi up against Hypnos Project HQ. Okay, well, it looks like they open up with the Gliscor, but given that Toshi's already in the next dimension, the dimension above for this team comp, because he opened up with the Qwilfish yet again, which we know can just be oppressive against teams. So we have this energy lead here against the Wormadam Trash. Toshi reliably can counter the Wormadam Trash Cloaks with Alolan Muk because we know, given the Snarl energy generation, it can just dominate. It outpaces, it really does. It outpaces the Wormadam Trash Cloak. It is just faster, and looks like they opt to use a shield. Interesting. So do we see the Exeggutor come out at this point? It looks like we do not. So the Qwilfish is going to catch the charge. Okay, it does not. It actually opts to use a shield, which at this point, I mean, that's fine because, I mean, what are they going to do, right? At this point, you know, really, what are they going to do? So they bring out their Toxicroak, which we resist the counters, but would take super effective from the Mud Bomb. We throw the Aqua Tail, which goes unshielded, and then the Exeggutor just deletes it. That happened too fast. The Toxicroak's just gone. It's out of here. It's done for. Now the Gliscor comes back in, but we do have the super effective Aqua Tail. We can throw its way. They opt to use a shield. At this point, obviously, Toshi's going to be able to use the shield and outpace this Gliscor to an Aqua Tail from another Night Slash on their part. And even with them getting the boost, respect, he got the boost with the Night Slash, but this Aqua Tail just seals the deal. Dunzo. All right, for game 2, let's see what they do. Do they lead with Gliscor again, or do they switch it up and lead with Steelix? I guess we will just have to see. I anticipate, you know, if they end up leading with the Steelix, I think Toshi's just going to lead with the, man. Okay, so they lead with the Wormadam Trash. I was going to say he just leads with the Qwilfish again, but no. He catches this yet again because they switch their lead and they opt for a Wormadam Trash. Toshi is leading with the outpacing the powerful Alolan Muk, which throws the Dark Pulse, goes unshielded, and we shield, what is it, a Bug Buzz here? Good. This Bug Buzz would do a great amount of damage. Obviously not going to quite one-hit KO the Alolan Muk, as we know, but also, again, as we know, this Dark Pulse can just outspam and overpower the Wormadam Trash Cloak. The Wormadam Trash cannot hang in terms of speed. It is definitely outpaced here in this matchup. I don't think we're going to see them. Interesting. They're staying in, honestly, which kind of surprises me, but it looks like they opt to swap in with a Steelix at this point. Toshi used a shield in that matchup too, which does kind of surprise me, but I guess based on the fact that they led with the Wormadam Trash, he wants to stay in with that matchup to overpower the Wormadam Trash like he knows he can, especially because he can generate more energy if they swap and then just throw a charge, which at this point the Steelix is gone because Toshi was able to answer with his trusty good old Qwilfish, and what's in the back we see it's Gliscor. Yet another 2-0, dude. This is absolutely nuts. This is borderline level the Nut 93 disrespectful. This is Toxic Toshi disrespectful version 1.0. GG's. Toxic Toshi here. Here we go. We're about to get into round 6. I expect this one to be very heated. Mad respect and much love to all the Cali battlers. You know who you are. You know who all of you are. I do hope during these trying times, at least, you know, providing the little bit of entertainment that we can does help a little bit. You know, stay safe out there, wash your hands, be smart. But we see it is up against the one, the only Lemon Lime 94. So Lemon Lime 94 definitely placed his name in the history of Pokemon Go competitive PvP during the Timeless Mega Cup tournament that was shoutcasted mostly by King, but also with special guests such as Valor Ash and namely Nick from Trainer Tips. So it was a huge prestigious event, and he did have a complete sweep for the tournament. So this is going to be a very, very, very good game. And his team kind of throws me off the wall a little bit too. So we see the standard Golbat, Escavalier, Wormadam, Trash Cloak, and Bibarel, but he has Flygon and Munchlax. Munchlax, dude. Munchlax, I think, is going to poke a hole in Toshi Strat with the Shadow Exeggutor. We'll just have to see how this plays out. Here we go. Round 6, game 1, with the one, the only Toshi with this toxic Toshi Strat tournament shoutcasting against one of the best, if not the best, battler in all of California, Lemon Lime 94. Shout out to you, my guy, Lemon Lime. Much love, much respect. Love your team comps, especially with what you've done for this toxic team, actually. Very, very spicy. I like it. I like it a lot. And it looks like Lemon Lime is taking just a minute here to choose his team. And yet again, I think that's just because he's kind of contemplating how he's going to deal with the Shadow Exeggutor, right? Okay, so you don't want to see this. The Escavalier is not going to be in a good spot up against the Qwilfish, but it looks like he uses a shield, and he's basically going to trade shields for the open at this point. Interesting how he played that out. I anticipate a swap. Okay, we do see it, and Toshi answers with the Alolan Muk, which that's good because we're going to be able to outspam, right? Just like the Wormadam Trash Cloak matchup, we can outspam with the charge moves, and also specifically considering the Munchlax matchup, geez, the Munchlax matchup, we would take super effective from that Bulldoze, which is why Toshi used a shield, but we do resist the licks given Alolan Muk's part dark typing. So I think Toshi kind of had to play that this way at this point, even with the shield disadvantage, because he needs to retain basically not only the swap advantage, but the energy leads and advantage he can have with the rest of these matchups. So I'm wondering, I didn't see it before, but did he? Oh, okay, he did bring the Shadow Exeggutor. So we're able to overtake the Escavalier threat with the Aqua Tail from the Qwilfish here, and the Golbat comes back in. And even if the Golbat OHKOs, this is GG's. This is definitely going to go to the next game because he still has the Shadow Exeggutor. So this is Golbat's history. It can do another Poison Fang, comes back in. Boom, gonzoed it. All right, Lemon Lime, my guy, for game 2 here, you're going to have to step it up. You're going to have to switch something up. Let's see how he improvises. So, interestingly enough, this could be good, actually. He opens up with the Flygon into Toshi's Alolan Muk here, which the Flygon with the Earth Power threat and or possibly Earthquake is very, very threatening to the Alolan Muk. It would one-shot. If it doesn't one-shot, it gets really, really close. Excuse me. We see the Dragon Claw come out as a bait, which does go shielded. Toshi answers with the Exeggutor here, the Shadow Exeggutor, but now we see this is kind of what I was afraid of. He uses the Munchlax to mitigate the Shadow Exeggutor threat, and this puts Toshi at a very disadvantageous situation because the Munchlax here can even throw a Body Slam and do very, very good work against the Alolan Muk. But we see Toshi use his charge as quick as possible against the Munchlax, which does get the last shield. He needs that, but then he shields the Bulldoze. That was huge as well. He needed to shield that. Oh, we see the 1 HP, hashtag 1 HP boss. The Munchlax is able to throw a Body Slam into the Qwilfish, and we see the Flygon come back in, which does take this Aqua Tail. It does not like taking the Aqua Tail, even being part Dragon type, because it is part ground, so it will take neutral rather than resisted and or super effective. So Dragon Claw seals the deal against the Qwilfish there, and oh, out-spammed by the Flygon. Is this a Dragon Claw? It is, which does KO. That's GG's. That was a good one. All right, round 6, game 3. It is good to finally see something go to game 3 for this toxic Toshi Strat, which has just been rolling over opponents left and right. I anticipate, based on how things are pacing, that Toshi will either win here for round 6 and then lose out in round 7, because he did go 6-1, or he's going to lose out to Lemon Lime here, which honestly is a huge possibility, again, because Lemon Lime is just such an amazing competitor and battler and just dominates with some of these teams. So, oh no, we see the Qwilfish lead into the Flygon. So again, you know, the Flygon doesn't want to take the neutral Aqua Tail damage, especially from a Qwilfish when it's combined with the Water Gun damage. It just comes out too quick. from the Qwilfish. Qwilfish is like a water type machine gun. So we see a swap here into the Drapion. So Toshi finally brings out this Drapion, and I think he wanted to bring it out because of the Flygon that Lemon Lime has on his team, which has done massive work for him, basically won the game for him out of game 2. So Toshi wants some kind of answer to the Flygon, which is now gone at this point. That's a bad sign. So Escavalier is out here. Does Toshi shield? Yes, so Toshi opts to use a shield from the Aerial Ace on the Escavalier there, and now Lemon Lime has 1 shield left and 2 Pokemon. He comes back in with the Munchlax, which, not the best to throw the energy there at the Munchlax, but honestly, with how things are pacing, Toshi has to, be a little more aggressive or he's just going to get destroyed, and we see the Earth Power destroy the Alolan Muk, unfortunately. Then there should be a Dragon Claw from this Flygon, the Spam Master, and it is, and the Mudshot seals the deal. GG's, dude. GG's. Right now, we're swinging into round 7 here with Toshi, the toxic Toshi Strat, the one that only up against Linden Ryu, which is also a very well-known, very competitive battler who does very well in tournaments. So let's see what they do. They have a pretty standard team all around for the most part. The Ludicolo is the spice that we're seeing here. So let's see how these matchups play out. We see a Qwilfish into their Gliscor lead. Toshi definitely wins the lead there, and as we know, Alolan Muk as a swap-in is going to be a pretty powerful against basically everything. So good shield there, because it was the Mega Horn that would have done massive damage to the Alolan Muk. We throw the Dark Pulse, which doesn't quite 1H KO. Hopefully we can Snarl down. Great, we can Snarl down. I think we definitely needed to be able to Snarl down at that point, because now we definitely have an energy advantage, and we'll see what they answer with. So they come back in with their Gliscor, which is going to soak that Dark Pulse damage. Interesting, honestly, that they did not shield, because I guess they want to save their shields, but just the spam ability with the Alolan Muk here, like, it's interesting. So, okay, so now they use a shield again at this point. I anticipate, obviously, the Qwilfish to come back in to do work against the Gliscor. They do have a little bit of energy built up, but honestly, we're able to outspam with the good old water type machine gun here. The Water Gun Aqua Tail combo from the Qwilfish does insane work, and we throw the Aqua Tail at the Wormadam Trash Cloak. We're not caring too much about the confusion damage, which is super effective because we can throw that Aqua Tail, save a shield here for the not Alolan, why do I keep saying that? The Shadow Exeggutor, which once we reach the Sidekick, I'm pretty sure the Sidekick KOs, doesn't it? Does it? It does. GG's. Getting into round 7, let's see how things finish off here for the one, the only toxic Toshi Strat here. 2020, gotta love it. They open up with the Gliscor yet again. So the Alolan Muk here, it's going to be able to outpace. He doesn't opt to use it as a swap in, interestingly enough, to answer anything for game 2 here. He just leads with it. So they throw, what is it? Oh, it's a Night Slash. Okay, that would have been resisted. We got the shield, but they definitely had enough energy at that point to throw an Earthquake. So good call on the shield nonetheless. I don't think it was a waste. How much energy do they have? Is this an Earthquake? Okay, it is the Earthquake. So yet again, Toshi is smart, not only with knowing where the opponent is at in terms of their energy management, but also is able to shield manage very, very well to counteract that. So he doesn't put himself in a disadvantageous situation. We do see the Water Gun do the insane work against the Escavalier. Obviously, we have no shields left, but at least we tank the Aerial Ace. So whatever comes back in, I anticipate, like we see here, Toshi's just going to spam the Aqua Tail to either KO or get the shield. And okay, Ludicolo, dude. Shout out to Raging Taz, my guy. Much love to you. I hope you are doing okay as well in these times. I know things are very, very rough, especially out there in Italy. But the Ludicolo's out here. It is doing its thing. It's dancing around, building up this energy. Toshi answers by swapping in with the Alolan Muk, throwing a Dark Pulse, which does get the shield. We needed that. Ludicolo throws the Ice Beam, and oh no. Okay, this is going to go to game 3 because this Ice Beam's going to KO for sure. GG's. Our round 7, game 3, the final to close out and to finish this toxic Toshi Strat, the one, the only 2020 game 3 here. Again, round 7, they open up with the Escavalier. Toshi opens up with the Water Gun Aqua Tail, water type machine gun that is also known as Qwilfish. Now, I've said it before, I've said it again, you do not want Toshi to be comfortable. He's comfortable in this matchup. He knows he can deal with the Escavalier and not have to switch. There's not much pressure on Toshi here. He's just going to spam what he can against the opponent. And they come in with the Wormadam Trash Cloak, but again, the water type machine gun, also known as Qwilfish, aka Qwilfish, is able to at least throw an Aqua Tail into the Wormadam Trash. And now we come in with the threatening Alolan Muk. This energy generation is just very, very difficult to deal with, especially when you comp like Linden Ryu has here for round 7, game 3. So We see the Night Slash, not very effective. That is going to be resisted. Dark resists Dark, and we throw Dark Pulse, which closes out. Basically, that closes out the final here. So they are able to throw a charge. Toshi puts up a shield and is going to be able to throw yet another Dark Pulse into the Wormadam Trash Cloak here. So the shields are all down, but this is done. That's GG's. Doesn't quite KO, but he can just finish the job with the Shadow Exeggutor. Hopefully he can. What do they throw? Iron Head. K doesn't want HKO. GG's. GG's, dude. That was, I'm going to be completely honest, that was a very, very fun tournament to shoutcast. Toshi, thank you very much for getting back to me in my request when you tweeted out for whoever wants to get this tournament covered. Basically, for the most part, everyone's, staying isolated. We're social distancing to combat with what we can against COVID-19. Again, I encourage you to stay safe, do your social distancing, wash your hands, stay clean, do whatever you can. I Clorox wipe so many things nowadays, like it's actually nuts. But again, hopefully entertainment from uploads like this and other various PvP content creators gives you some kind of entertainment during these times. Give love if you can and if you want to Toshi down in the comments below. Throw him a congratulations. He definitely deserves it. This Toshi Toxic Strat was very, very insane. It was very impressive. Not only did he manage shields on a masterful level, he managed his energy on a masterful level. He knew his matchups on a masterful level. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to quite deal with the Munchlax matchup that we saw in round 6, games 2 and 3 from the likes of Lehman Lime. But still, after this tournament concluded, he did take #1 in the United States leaderboard. Again, at this point, he has been since dethroned, I believe, by House Stark 93, who was the first in the United States to actually hit the Elite Trainer status. So, House Stark, shout out to you as well, of course. But Toshi, dude, this strat and this team, this was simply amazing. If you agree, and you like Toshi's performance, please leave a like on the video. It does help a lot. And also subscribe for the Go Stadium vibe. Power up, punch the notification bell for all the Go Stadium PvP content. That's it for this video, battlers. We'll see you in the next video. Have a good, safe, and clean stinking day.